Hello friends, my name is Vaishnavi. Today in this video we will see end-to-end working in IT project. First we will see Agile approach, developing any software, and then we will see Jira, which is a project management tool. Basically in an IT project, end-to-end refers to the entire life cycle of a project from initiation to completion. This approach follows all stages, ensuring that every aspect of project is well planned, executed, tested, and deployed. There are many companies, many technologies, many employees working on many projects. Every company follows different process for project development. So it's become very hard for employee to learn new process every time. And if they change the company, it will be time consuming for employee and company both. So solution for this is SDLC, that is software development life cycle. SDLC means software development life cycle. It is a standard way of developing software. It ensures that the software is built systematically, efficiently, can be created on time and with expected quality. It involves some stages. These are the stages of developing any software. There is planning, analysis, design, implementation, testing and integration, maintenance. All these are the stages of software development. Agile is an approach of developing software. It is a project management approach. It includes some processes, tools, end to end. Focus on flexibility, collaboration, and customers' feedback. This is the flow of Agile. We will see that first planning, development, testing, deployment, review from customer, then launch the product or service. This is the flow of Agile. There are some stages in Agile flow. First is first we can understand what the client or users needs in their software or system. So first is requirement gathering, then planning about or how to organize the resources, timelines, and cost. So planning, then design is creating the blueprint of how software or system will work. And development means writing code and building the system. Code involves some Java classes, interface, exception handling, all logic will be in development. Then fifth stage is testing. It ensures that software works expected as expected or not. Then deployment make the software available to end users. Then take feedback from customer about what changes they have to made in their software, what they want. Based on the feedback, then maintenance is the next stage. They're fixing bugs or adding features based on users' feedback is happen. These are some stages of agile as mentioned in this flow diagram. We will see agile flow through one diagram. Suppose we are developing note taking application. Instead of developing entire application at once, we divide it into small versions. Version 1, version 2. So first we will start with the basic version of app that allows to write or take notes. After releasing this version to users and gathering their feedback, we make changes in next version, that is adding new features based on users' suggestion. With each version release, we continue to gather feedback and implementing new ideas. This cycle of taking feedback and implementing the changes is called as a sprint. The sprint may be of 2 to 4 weeks. With each sprint, we improve our application. And this is how Agile makes our project management efficient and easy. This is the Agile approach of working. Agile is a time box based iterative approach of developing software. Iterative means, let's assume customer wants 50 features. Let's assume customer wants 50 features, and instead of developing all the feature at once, we divide it into small features and develop it into pieces. So through one diagram, we will see what is the sprint. In first 2 weeks, we take some features. Let's say 7 features out of 50 features. We take 7 features in first 2 weeks. We design it, develop it, and test it. Doing all the steps that are mentioned in Agile Flow, we are doing all that. And again, take feedback from client. And in next 2 weeks of sprint, again modifying, adding new features to it. As the process goes forward, day by day, more project is in production. So client don't have to wait for longer. In next sprint, we again take some features. We follow same stages like designing, developing, and testing. Again, taking users' feedback based on that, make changes, modify it, adding new features to it. Likewise, we build our application. So client don't have to wait for a longer. That is, project is broken down into multiple features and takes smaller time frame to complete that features and deploy it into production system. Thus, piece by piece, software is being ready. At last, all the 50 features are in a deployment stage. Agile is a time box based iterative approach. Means we are running through the same sets of activities again and again for different features. This is called as an iterative approach of developing software. There are multiple ways of implementing Agile. Scrum is mostly followed by all the companies. We will see Scrum approach. There are basically three designations in Scrum. That is pro- product owner, team members, and Scrum master. These are three designations in Scrum: product owner, team members. Team members includes tech lead, front end, back end guys, full stack guys, DevOps guys, some test persons, and Scrum master. Scrum master basically it is a facilitator of team who help them to follow agile practices so that they can meet their commitments. We will see flow. This is the agile Scrum framework. First, we will understand the flow. First, product owner understand the requirement from from clients and then convert it into some kind of requirements, which is in a step to develop by the technical team. So, product owner is in between person from client and tech team. Then product owner explain it to team. Once the product owner has understand the requirements, then a task of product owner is preparing prioritized list of required features into some product backlog. Then one new terminology is here, sprint, that we discussed, that sprint cycle. It is nothing but the time frame, one working cycle using short iteration of 1 to 4 weeks so that the development align with the changing business needs. That 1 to 4 week of cycle is called as sprint. In order to do one sprint cycle, IT companies will do many meetings like daily stand-up meeting, sprint review meeting, sprint retrospective meeting. Likewise, all the meetings can be happen. So the communication and coordination happens here. In daily stand-up meeting, it is organized daily before starting the work, where team connects and discuss what we are working upon yesterday, what is today's plan, and what we are developing next. And we are on a track to finish the feature we have working on. So all this happens in a daily stand-up meeting. So first, a product owner will put all the requirements somewhere in a product backlog. For this, one project management tool is used, that is Jira. In Jira, the entire working in a company and entire tracking can be reflected. For that, we need to create first Jira account. In that, we have to choose the Scrum mode. I have already created my Jira account. So in this Jira account, everybody, that is product owner, team members, and Scrum master, everybody will have access. Everybody will have login credentials to log in into this. We will create one project here. Here, these are my projects. We will create one project. We choose Scrum approach, use template, select team managed project. We will give name here, access. We can make our project private. We use one key. Then next, likewise, we can create one project. In this project section, these are the projects. We can create it from here. We can create project also from here. Create project. Software development. This we use Scrum approach. Use these templates. Select manage project. Here we can give our name of project. Demo for access is private. These are two ways of creating project. Key. We can change key or it automatically takes. Next. It will create first project. It takes some time to create project. We can see all our projects here. In project section, view all projects. This is the demo for project that I have created. We can see it from here. Go into that project. Here is a one backlog section where product owner can add all the requirements. So first, product owner will put all the requirements in the product backlog. In backlog, all requirements are available. So product owner will create backlog and add requirements here in a product backlog. In Jira, we will see one backlog section. Here we can create backlog. Basically, requirements are given in the form of user story. So here we can create our user story. This backlog section. So create issue. This green icon shows the story, blue icon shows the task, red icon shows work. Basically, requirements are given in the form of user story here. So, for here first, I have created one project that is demo for. This is the backlog section where we can add our user story. That is the requirement or issue in the backlog section. Where we can add all the requirements. Requirement says what and how needs to be done is available here. We can create issue type as a task, bug, or user story. Here we can give some one liner to that user story. PO is having some requirement or issue which he should tell to team. It comes into Jira backlogs and he creates one user story and put one liner to that. So for example, subtract API to econ client so that they can subtract and get output. By entering this, we create one requirement here. This is the key which uniquely identifies that requirement. So we click on that is open here. We can also open here it in new tab. Click on that story, open in new tab. There are many things in that requirement. We will see that these are many things here. Description. We can add some description about this requirement. So product owner basically explains the requirement with this description so that other team members can understand this. Agile recommends a standard pattern of writing the user story. So there is one description format here. I will write it here as a user. I want to I want here we have to write what functionality you want. So that why you want. So this is the format of writing description of user story. Also, we can add some acceptance criteria. Means what they want, what are the requirement rules or anything that they want. We can add it here in acceptance criteria. So I have one format here. I will copy paste it here. So as a ecom client means user, what I want we have to mention it here. I want an API that performs subtraction between two numbers so that we can subtract balances of people efficiently. We have to write some acceptance criteria. What we are giving, what are some rules? Means it can numbers can be positive or negative. There are some acceptance criteria we have to give it. Save. This is the description of our user story. We go to diagram again. Here there are many meetings are happening. First, product owner gather requirement, add it in a product backlog. Then grooming or requirement gathering meeting happens here. So PO will explain the requirement to team, that is technical team, and assign that requirement and expect the estimation. Means what time frame that they complete the requirement. In that they complete the requirement. There are some terminologies here. We will see from Jira mode. There is one terminology that is assigning. Means it says that currently this requirement is assigned to whom. So we can assign it to whom they want to assign. I will choose here my name. Again, one more is here. Story point estimate. Means for every requirement, we should assign a number based on some criteria that how much time it will take to complete, how complex is the requirement, how much risk is there in this requirement. Using these three factors, we finalize one number for the given requirement, which is near to the Fibonacci series. We give story point estimate based on some criteria that how much time the requirement will take, how complex is the requirement, and how much risk is there in this requirement. These are three factors based on which they can give the story point. We can give it from here. It will be reflected back in a backlog section. Story point, we can give it here like 4 will be mentioned here. And this is the assignee name that we have mentioned. These are the section where we can see where is our work that in progress, done, or in QA. This can be analysis through here in a backlog section. This script, this story point reflected here, and multiple tasks will be given, and team will keep discussing it and giving the story points. All this track in a Jira. Every week, the parallel work is happening in the company. Using this icon, we can select the team members, anyone whose works we want to see, and all the requirements under him are shown here. Then, as mentioned in the diagram, one sprint planning meeting is happening here. It happens on day one of a sprint. Their team selects starting at top as much as it can commit to deliver by end of the sprint and make a decision that in this sprint how many features we will do. So whatever IMP for business, product owner going to move that requirement from backlog section to the sprint. How much they want to complete, how much features they want to complete, they can drag it from backlog section to the sprint. This drag and drop features that needs to be done in the sprint and arrange them in a priority based on story points. We can add many as issues we want. Further, we create sprint from here and then start sprint. We can give name here, duration custom. We have to choose start date and end date. We can add some sprint goal that what happened in that sprint, what work we want to do. We can mention it here. Then start sprint. Sprint is started. Automatically it moves to one board section where we can see where is our requirement. Requirement is in a which state, to do state, in progress state, or done state. We can give QA state also. We can drag and drop features as shown. Go to backlog section, click on the requirement. We can create on key, open in new tab. Here we can divide our requirement into some tasks by adding child issue. Here we can create subtasks like UI task, enter. It will automatically create key, server task, create, QA test execution. Just like a main requirement, we can see it here the task subtask is in which state. We can assign it to members. Here I have assigned it to myself. We can also give story point from here, or we can give story point from here. These are three subtasks we have created. We can allocate them to assignee, which is done in a sprint planning meeting, which is reflected back into Jira. As I have already mentioned that in sprint planning meeting, we can move the tasks which have more requirement, which is more IMP. We can move and drag it to the top, and we can give them some story points and assign it to some members in our team, so that these all works happens in a sprint planning meeting. We can reflect it into Jira, that what I have said. We can divide the requirement into some child issue subtasks. For subtask, we do same things like assign it to some members, giving it story points. Then we start our sprint, go to Jira backlog. We have already started the sprint. As we started the sprint, we go to good section. All the items of current sprint will be there. Here, which task is in what state also been seen. It may be in a progress state, QA state, or to-do state. If we click on person's name, all tasks assigned to him are shown in this board. And again, if we clear the again click, it clears the filter. We can go to that requirement. We can also see all the child issues here also. We have to choose group by subtask, the main requirement, and all subtasks are shown here. As a developer, we daily visit to Jira board for moving tasks from to-do state to done state. Once our task or story is completed, we can move it from to do to in progress, and in progress to QA, and then done. We can move it to here. This UI team will complete the UI task, and all the team members from server task can start their working. They can see in what state our UI team is to complete the task. To see all tasks requirement, we have choose group by subtask here. We just working on features and keep updating in a Jira, and thus move all tasks from to do section to in progress to QA, and QA again QA to done section. Thus all the subtasks are completed step by step. It can be reflected back in a main requirement. We can group by none. Then this is the main requirement. We have completed the subtask, but we have to move this requirement from in progress to QA, and again QA to done. Thus, our requirements are completed one by one, and all these changes are tracked in Jira. Using the Jira, we can see which member is completing or working on what issues, and how many features we have to complete in this sprint. All issues that may be completed in progress state, done state, to do state. We can see all this in the Jira management. In short, what we have discussed as part of this video, we have discussed about Agile, launch Jira, where a product owner gives requirement as a user story and adds it to backlog section. In grooming the requirements and giving story points for that is required, which is happen in a sprint planning meeting. In sprint planning meeting, we decide how many features we will work when we allocate these features to developers, and when we do low level design, that is classes, interfaces, database design. All that happen in a sprint planning meeting. This task breakdown. Then update it in Jira and start coding. We see the all requirements in a Jira backlog section in the form of user story. This is the ticket DEM-1, which shows the user story, which uniquely identifies these requirements. Every requirement have this unique ID. Thus, Jira and day-to-day coding working happens parallelly. We can update it in Jira, so we can understand what we have to do in this sprint, what work we have completed. All this shown here in a project backlog section. Thus Jira and Agile are working. Thank you.